It's a Shellac Stack listening session here at Tone and Grooves. Smooth vocals and dance tunes from the 1920s. Perfect for a late night listening session. That is coming up next.
Now little Miss Cecilia Green, a little over sweet 16, but the cutest flapper that you've ever seen. When the fellows pass her by, she will always wink her eye, and when she talks to them, when she walks with them, this is what they all cry. Does your mother know you're out, Cecilia? Does she know that I'm about to steal you? Oh my, when I look in your eyes, something tells me you and I should get together. How about a little kiss, Cecilia? Just a kiss you'll never miss, Cecilia. Why do we two keep on wasting time? Oh, Cecilia, say that you'll be mine. Now many funny things occur, and while the boys are courting her, you see I refer to one case in particular. It seems that she went with a boy named Joe, who was always lisping so, and when he'd ask this miss for a little kiss, it would sound just like this. Does your mother know that you're out, Cecilia? And does he know that I'm about to steal you, Cecilia? Oh my, when I look in your eyes, something tells me that you and I should get together. How about a little kiss, Cecilia? Cecilia, just a kiss you'll never miss, Cecilia. Why do we two keep on wasting time? Oh, Cecilia, say that you will be mine. And does your mother know that you're out, Cecilia? And does she know that I'm about to steal you, Cecilia? Oh my, when I look in your eyes, something tells me you and I should get together. How about a little kiss, Cecilia? Just a kiss you'll never miss, Cecilia. Why do we two keep on wasting time? Oh, Cecilia, say that you'll be mine.
Hello, vinyl community, music lovers, Shellac Stack lovers, whatever, Shellac collectors, 78 collectors, just anyone who enjoys music from old-time 78 RPM records, the 1920s, and anyone else who just happened to stumble upon this video. Welcome to Tone and Grooves. My name is Jeff, and this is a Shellac Stacks listening session. A late night listening session. While I'm recording this, it's late at night, so it is a late night listening session. Although the music is good for listening to it anytime. What we just heard was a song by Jack Smith. Jack Smith, The Whispering Baritone. The record's from 1925. 1925, and Jack Smith is a very interesting vocalist. really came into popularity during the early electric recording era. So mid 20s, when the electric microphone, electric recording came in. Is it electric microphone, or like, what do they call it, the carbine microphone? Or anyway, electric recording. When that came into being in the 1925, late 1924, that made it possible for Jack Smith, with his very unique voice, um, his almost whispering style of singing. Electric recording allowed that to be recorded. And so he was pretty popular. Interesting info about him. He was born the late 1800s in the Bronx, I believe it was, Bronx, New York. Kind of got started in the music business as a song plugger. Sheet music, was the big business in those days. Records were kind of just the gravy in the music industry. Sheet music was the meat and potatoes, and song pluggers would sing songs to promote the latest songs that were being put out on sheet music, and entice music store companies to buy them, individuals to purchase it, and all of that. So that's how Jack Smith got started, and then began making records and became quite popular. From what I understand, perhaps more popular in England, because a number of his recordings, or his records, are only available, or were only released in England and not the United States. So I guess I'm not 100% sure about the reasoning behind all of that. I'm just assuming that he was more popular and had a bigger following in England. But anyway, I'm going to flip the side here. Oh, I think I forgot to say the name of that song is Cecilia, if you didn't get that from the chorus. And the flip side is a song called I'm Knee Deep in Daisies.
I just got a letter from a pal who went away. He's on a short vacation, you know what I mean, just a little recreation. Well, I guess my pal is feeling better, because here's what he has to say. I won't come back, no I won't come back. Why, I'm right down here to stay. I'm knee deep in daisies and head over heels in love. Oh, I'm acting like a clown in a little one-horse town. I'm hazy, I'm crazy, I guess that I'm in love. She's just a farmer's daughter, but say, old pal, you ought to meet her. Every evening in the moonlight down by the old mill stream. While she's dreaming, I am scheming, well, you know what I mean. I'm falling, and I don't need a shove, because I'm knee-deep in daisies and head over heels in love. Lots of fun around the farmhouse while a fella's raising things. I even raised the dickens with all the little chickens. And besides, my little sweetheart has a cow named Sally Green. I'll tell you what, when the weather's hot, you should taste her good ice cream. I'm knee-deep in daisies and head over heels in love. Oh, I'm acting like a clown in a little one-horse town. I'm hazy, I must be crazy. Yeah, I think I'm in love. Just a farmer's daughter. But say, old pal, you ought to meet her. Every evening in the moonlight down by the old mill stream. while she's dreaming. I am scheming, you know what I mean. I'm falling, and I don't need a show, because I'm knee deep in daisies, head over heels in love. Yes, sir, I'm falling, and I don't need a show, because I'm knee deep in daisies, and head over heels in love.
That was a fun tune. Very fun. Very fun. I haven't heard these records, so I'm hearing them for the first time as just as you are hearing them. If it is your first time hearing these, yeah, these are actually new pickups, new finds, if you will, that I bought online during this, COVID-19 series. And yeah, looking forward to be able to get out and hit the junk shops and the thrift stores, and we've got a couple of junk shops in the area up here, and some antique stores up here in northwest Wisconsin that oftentimes have 78s, and so I'm really looking forward to getting back out there and being able to go hunting and digging. But for now, it's buying online. So yeah, that was. Get a shot of the label here. Well, that was Knee Deep in Daisies and Head Over Heels in Love. And then on the other side was Cecilia on this Victor 19787. From 1925. And interesting little side note, it was literally recorded on my birthday. I wasn't born in 1925, but I was born on September 21st. And this record, in fact, another Jack Smith record that I'm going to play, Jack Smith record, was also recorded September 21st, 1925. Going to change it up a bit. I'm going to go now with a record by Henry Burr. Let's see here. Well, here's the A side. If we can get that. Camera doesn't like the light. It's another Victor record, number 19780, also from 1925. Lost my duster. Couple of interesting things here. So this is a Victor Batwing. The previous record that we listened to was what's called a scroll label. The scroll label is the label that Victor went to when they fully engaged with electric recording. The Batwing label was what was previous. But there are some Batwing labels from early 1925 and maybe some from late 1924 that are electric recordings, even though they're on a Batwing label. And you can tell because up here in the runout groove, I don't think that'll show up on the camera, maybe, there's a little VE symbol. That's not going to show up in a circle in the dead wax. And that's for Victor Electric. So there are actually Batwings that are electric recordings. Anyway, interesting little side note. So this is Henry Burr. Henry Burr was a tenor, very popular, another guy born in the late 1800s, started recording in the early 1900s for Columbia, and then went over to Victor. And he's started in the acoustic days, so he had this voice that was one of those just very kind of bombastic, Al Jolson type voices that singers had to have in those days in order for their voice to be heard on the recording, as they almost sang into these big horns in the acoustic recording process. but this is an electric recording. So, and I haven't heard this, so I'm interested to hear how he sounds, because electric recording totally changed the dynamics when it came to singing, which helped people like Jack Smith, Bing Crosby, those guys. So I'm really curious to hear this Henry Burr record. The other interesting note is he's accompanied by a saxophone on here, and that's Rudy Wiedoeft. Rudy Wiedoeft, huge, very popular saxophone player in the early days, teens, 20s, like extremely popular. The singer Rudy Valley, he is named after Rudy Wiedoeft. Apparently, so I read, Rudy Valley loved Rudy Wiedoeft so much and talked about him so much and whatnot, that his nickname became Rudy. And then he took that as his stage name, or his professional name. So Rudy Wiedoeft was an extremely popular saxophone player, and it was actually part of one of the very first bands to use the name jazz in their name. That was the Frisco Jazz Band. They started off as the Frisco Jazz, Jass, in quotes, band, and then later became the Victor Jazz, Jazz band, and they recorded some records for the Edison record company in, I believe, 1917. So they were actually one of the earliest bands, right along, side the original Dixieland Jazz Band, to use the word jazz in their name. So interesting kind of, music history, jazz connection with Rudy Wiedoeft. So let's listen to Henry Burr and Rudy Wiedoeft do You Forgot to Remember from 1925.
One little kiss, a moment of bliss, then hours of deep regret. One little smile, and after a while, a longing to forget. One little heartache left as a token, one little plaything carelessly broken. Remember the night you said I love you. Remember you vowed by all the stars above you. Remember we fought
Oh, okay. That was interesting. Um, yeah. I'm not really a big fan of Henry Burr. In fact, I at one time had a bunch of Henry Burr records, and I've kind of put them in the discard piles because um, I'm just not a big fan of that style of singing from the teens and 20s. Some of our, like Billy Murray, has that same kind of style voice, but he does a lot of comedic songs, and they're just lots of fun. This was not really one of my favorites. I got the record because it has Rudy Wiedoeft on it, and I was a little disappointed that that song really didn't feature him very much. I mean, it was almost over before he finally came in. So anyway, but very interesting. You know, here you got this kind of the old, more old style singer, you know, and then Henry Burr, and then Jack Smith, a much, you know, a more newer style, you know, with the electric microphone or electric recording process. Totally different styles. And that's fascinating for me to kind of see the evolution of not just music, but, you know, recording technique and how that played into different types of, you know, different styles of instruments and, you know, singing and whatnot. I just find that fascinating. So, I'm not going to play the second side of that one. That was an interesting comparison. Let's listen to another Jack Smith record. This is number 19800, also on the Victor label, also from 1925, also recorded September 21st, 1925. And this is called I Care for Her and She Cares for Me. Let's give this one a spin. Forgot to mention earlier, I read somewhere, in fact, I think it was on Tim Grasick's YouTube channel, which I believe is just called Tim Grasick. Grasick, in fact, he wrote this book, Popular American Recording Pioneers. So it's Tim, Tim Grasick, Gracyk. I think it was on his YouTube channel. He had a bunch. He records 78 RPM records and then just, you know, has the music on his channel as a video. I've done a couple of those too, but he does those like every other day, something like that. And he had a bunch of Jack Smith records that he had made videos of, and put little bio information up. And I'm pretty sure it was there that I saw that it was rumored that Jack Smith's voice had the whispering quality because of an injury he suffered in World War I, a gas attack. But I believe that was never really confirmed, and it was thought that was a publicity stunt. So anyway, here we go with Jack Smith again. I Care for Her and She Cares for Me from 1925.
I've seen fellows bitten by the love bug before, but none were half so smitten as the fellow next door. He keeps talking to himself all day, and this is all he ever seems to say. I care for her, she cares for me. We're just as happy as lovers can be. When we're in the park, we walk for hours, paying no attention to the flowers. Out on the lawn, we carry on until it's time to go home. When she says, honey, hold my money, it's plain to see that I care for her and she cares for me. Now I've seen silly willies acting silly before, but none were half as silly as this Willie next door. When you say, hello, how have you been? He just answers with a silly grin. I care for her, she cares for me. We're just as happy as two birds in a tree. I like her because she's not a smarty. No, sir. She's the life and death of every party. We never fight because she's always right. And I let her have my own way. When I say yes, she answers no. So it's plain to see that I care for her and she cares for me. Now I like coffee, I like tea. I like her because she likes me. She plays the ukulele too. What an eye for music. Her old man is getting old and he's worth $1 million, so I'm told. And he has a terrible cold. How I love her father. She's a coffee hound, they say. She drinks 20 saucers every day. But she never drinks from out the cup because the spoon gets in her optic. But I care for her and she cares for me. We get along like two birds in a tree. When we're in the park, we walk for hours, paying no attention to the flowers. Out on the lawn, we carry on until it's time to go home. When I say yes, she answers no, so it's plain to see that I care for her and she cares for me. Do 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 I adore the ground she walks on because she owns it, you see. And I care for her and she's wild about me.
Oh, that was great. I really like Jack Smith, and I'm digging these records. All right, so how are we doing? Almost half an hour. Let's flip it over. Let's do the other side. Feeling kind of blue. Feeling kind of blue. I think there's some double entendre going on too in a lot of these Jack Smith songs. I like his style. All right. Feeling kind of blue, Jack Smith, 1925.
It was all my fault we had to part, and I've thought it over now, sweetheart. Can't I make amends? And why can't we be friends? Life seems so amiss, going on like this, feeling kind of blue, melancholy too. What am I to do with no one to love me? I know there'll never be another for me. You will forever be in my memory, feeling kind of blue, longing just for you. Not another face ever can replace you. And so dear, I'll go dear all my life through, feeling kind of blue for you. I still cherish sweetest memories, and I want to thank you, dear, for these. Our romance, you see, was so sweet to me, and how was I to know it would end up so? Feeling kind of blue, melancholy am I to do with no one to love me? I know there'll never be another for me. You will forever be in my memory. Feeling kind of blue, longing just for you. Not another thing ever can replace you. And so dear, I'll go dear all my life through, feeling kind of blue for you.
Another fun one. I enjoy it. Good stuff from Jack Smith. Okay. One more song, and then this is going to wrap it up. This is another Victor record. This one's from 1929. This is Ben Pollock and his Park Central Orchestra. Camera does not like this lighting. Anyway, so it's a Victor Scroll, 1929. The song that we're going to play is the fast song. There's a waltz on the backside. I don't like waltzes. So we're going to play the Foxtrot song, which is called Sweetheart, We Need Each Other. Ben Pollock, band leader, drummer, I believe, drummer who started a dance band in the 20s. Lots of people played with Ben Pollock's dance band, like lots of it, like Benny Goodman played with Ben Pollock, the Dorsey brothers. I believe Glenn Miller played with Ben Pollock. Red Nichols, different times, and sometimes, a lot of these guys were in the band at the same time. So this is like a big band, is a big band as far as jazz history goes. I picked this up because there's, from what I read, my little discographical research, there's some debate as to whether Benny Goodman, and I collect Benny Goodman records, he's my favorite big band musician and leader. So I collect Benny Goodman stuff. So there's some debate as to whether or not Benny Goodman plays on this record. A couple of discographies I have disagreed with each other on whether or not Benny's on this album, on this record. If my memory serves me correctly, I believe that one of them said that Benny himself wasn't sure. He left Ben Pollock's band right around the time that this record was made. So it's questionable and debated, I guess, whether or not he actually plays on this record. So I thought, well, what the heck? I have a chance to get it. I'm going to get it and at least have it. Maybe Benny Goodman's on here, maybe he's not. Let's listen and see what we think. Sweetheart, We Need Each Other. Ben Pollock and his Park Central Orchestra from 1929.
Why is the bluebird sad and so blue? Missing his sweetie, what can he do? He has a blue song, you hear him coo. Sweetheart, we need each other. Not like a bluebird, more like a jay. I miss you, sweetie, I get that way. Then like the mockingbird, I have to say, sweetheart, we need each other. How I'm missing I'd rather spend my time just kissing you. Bees need the flowers, flowers the dew. We all need someone, honey, how I need you. Oh, sweetheart, we need each other.
Good tune. That was fun. I didn't hear a clarinet solo, so very difficult to say for sure whether or not Benny Goodman plays in that record. Without a solo to go on, he may be there just in the background. I was trying to find out who plays trombone. Let's see here. Super cool. The 22101, right? Trombone was Jack Teagarden. Jack Teagarden. So, like I said, Ben Pollock's band had like seminal jazz players in it. Now, see this Discogs that I have that I'm pulling up online says that Benny Goodman plays clarinet. So, but without a solo, hard to say for sure. But yeah, super cool trombone solo by Jack Teagarden. So that's a nice bonus on that record. So we're going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging in there and spending time in this listening session. Drop some comments. Always enjoy the dialogue, the back and forth. Share thoughts, ideas, feedback, constructive criticism. Just talk records, 20s music, whatever trips your trigger. I enjoy that and will appreciate it. Subscribe if you like. Always appreciated but never expected. So thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. And until next time, stay in the groove.